Founded in the year 2000, but disrupted by the COVID-19, the coordinating committee meeting of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has resumed. It is the monitoring arm of the ministry in the pursuit of globally set goals in education, notably quality. Ibrahim Sisaho is the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education.
So that makes it a very important forum and a very important mechanism to ensure improved performance in every aspect of the sector. This is why, as management, we did not hesitate to bring it back with much urgency.
The CCM is not only a meeting of personnel of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, as stakeholders as the external eye are always invited to take part. Lamin Fatajo is the Education Director for Region 2 hosting this meeting.
CCM is one of the major tools that put us on top of issues. You know, before CCM, you would not have known what entails. And also, all the projects that are also running are also brought to membership to know that these are the things that are done so that we could have participatory approaches to discuss issues that will help the sector to move on. It also helps the permanent secretary and admin to also get ideas from the membership as to what do we do about it.
One of the 5 days of the meeting is reserved for school visit. It is an opportunity for delegates to gather first-hand information on the state of affairs of schools and what they are doing to meet what the educationists call the minimum standard.
The school visit usually is to test the system to see whether we've been operating as should be. And we tested it with what we call the minimum standard, where there are standards that are developed to see how we are operating as a sector. The minimum standards are basically operative. There are also infrastructure. There are also processes that we do, teaching and learning outcomes. All the other things that we do as educationists would be looked at. So the minimum standard has all those standards that a team would go to as randomly selected schools to check on that school to see whether they complied with the minimum standards. So that's what we do.
Globally set goals in education emphasize on access, inclusion, equity, and quality. This is what the CCM is also pursuing, said Education Minister Claudiana Cole.
However, as much as countries wish to attain such targets, there are challenges and bottlenecks that continue to impede our progress towards attaining the SDG 4.
Representing the government in this meeting is Usman Bojang, the governor of the West Coast region.
I can assure you that this government will work with all stakeholders to achieve a sustainable pathway towards education for all. At the end of the CCM, much is expected of you. The results should be useful for policymakers and planners and managers both within and outside the government, and our development partners who have actually shown the perseverance to be with us toe-to-toe in achieving our goals.
That is what I want us to focus our minds on. Future strategies. What are the future strategies? We have been in the past, we are now in the present, and we should be thinking about the future. That is what development is. A development-oriented human being always has a vision. And that should be our vision.
And as educationists and stakeholders gather to discuss for quality education in the long term, few things remain obvious. Investment and parental involvement in education, plus strong monitoring and evaluation system, and of course, with better strategies and programs are things that cannot be ignored. Louis Mendy, GRTS.